covered this in the past. I'm going to make it brief. So this battle with Satan and Gog and Magog against Yah's people in Jerusalem takes place in America. And they're here already, like I explained already. So this is in the seashore, along the shore. That is the book of Revelations 20. Now when you go to second Ezra, Jehoshua will be coming out of what? The sea. Okay? And all the nations will be coming together to make war against my son. What do you think that China are growing dragons and have these AI soldiers? Because humans can't fight them off. So obviously they're making things that for something stronger than a human. Because why would you need to build an army of AI soldiers for? It's not necessary. Okay, so I explained this before. So the triangle, the so-called Bermuda Triangle, that is the door. Okay, so that is what is going to be taking place there. That is the head of Leviathan, is there by the Caribbean Sea. All the warships are there right now. There is China, Russia, Venezuela, Africa, like all the nations are together. All the Gentile nations are together. The tail is by Alaska. The belly is by Venezuela. That's where they're there. The Trojan horse is what? The Muslims. The whole Palestinian war. So that was what it was how do you call it, a Trojan horse, that people could open our doors to let them in. So now we have our enemies around us. They're in Canada, and they're making a bridge, by the way, connecting Russia to Alaska. It's called the Putin and Trump Bridge. So we have them by Alaska. We have them in Mexico. We have them because they're in Mexico too, Venezuela. They're in the Caribbean. So they're around us. And inside, we brought in the Palestinians, the Arabs. And if you see Psalms 83, it tells you that Ishmael, which is the Arabs, joined Edom to destroy who? Israel, Joshua as a nation. So they work together. That's why they're rising up the whole Muslim movement right now, because we're going from the Inquisition to the Jihad, the Holy War. And that's why they're putting in positions of power, political positions. They're putting all this Islam people, all this Muslim people, because that's what they're doing. We're going to go to Sharia law real soon. It's all part of the plan. Also, I want you to know, because this is where we're at right now, we're in the reading Ezekiel. I don't know if you're aware that there's a lot of earthquakes happening lately, especially by California. It tells you because this is where we're at. In the reading Ezekiel 38 and 39, and there's going to be a huge earthquake here that's going to happen in the Americas. And it tells you in this reading that they will try to enslave us again, take our lands and enslave us again, like what they do right now, how they're gathering the red nations, and they want to enslave us again, like they did before when they first got here. But Daddy has something else planned for them, because he's going to rain fire on them, and he's going to do a great earthquake, and many of them are going to die. And as you read on, it tells you that there will be a vast graveyard for Gog and his army. So this is a snare. That's why they're all here, all the nations. That's why they're gathering only the Hispanic people, the Latin community, and even the indigenous of their lands, because they're trying to do the same thing, because they're returning the lands back to us through the lands back movement, and they're upset because they have the ownership of our the lands right now. They have the deeds of our lands, these bankers. So they want to hold on to our lands, and they want to continue to enslave us. So this is the battle of Gog and Magog, and it's happening right now. So yes, a big earthquake is about to take place, because we're in the reading Ezekiel 38, because the forces are already here. They're ready in the Caribbean, and they're ready in the Americas. And again, all the Muslims, the Trojan horse, they're within our borders. So get prepared, because it's happening fast.
Give you the latest on Christian news and what is happening in the world today. China just signed a $37 million deal to deploy industrial-grade humanoid robots at real border crossings. And these aren't just demo robots. These are the Walker S2 humanoids. They are built for 24/7 operation with automatic battery swapping. That's right, they can take their own battery pack out, swap it out with zero downtime. Their job is for crowd control, inspections, logistics, guiding travelers, surveillance, and government level enforcement. This is only one of many rollouts because China is expanding on what they call embodied AI across factories, public places, and even security. These robots don't tire, they don't question orders, and they do not have a conscience. Experts are even warning that this is the foundation of an AI-run enforcement system to replace human oversight. I want to give you relevant Christian news, not to scare you or put fear in you, but to warn you and to give an awareness of what is happening in the world today. If you feel the same way, please share this so the world can be informed of what is truly happening.
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then.
All right, so it looks like we're going to war. Last night, Al-Qaeda sent out a message basically stating that he is activating all of the sleeper cells. All right, the leader of Al-Qaeda said for every abled Muslim to prepare, Now, from what the CIA has stated, how this is going to play out more than likely is you're going to have activity popping off in different cities, LA, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Dallas, like just all across the nation. You're going to have things just popping off, and there's going to be so much commotion that they're not going to be able to keep up with everything. Last year, there was a guy that crossed the border. When they stopped him, he said, "You don't know who I am yet, but soon you will know." Now, the internet did its research. He was one of the main leaders from Al-Qaeda. So these are the type of people that we have here right now. Now, there's over 1,000 sleeper cells across the U.S. and things are looking pretty ugly, all right?
Learned that the DC shooter was part of a CIA-backed secretive assassination program in Afghanistan. It's being reported by the New York Times. These squads were described as being death squads. These Zero units were funded, trained, and led by the CIA. And their atrocities are well documented. I have a long video plus a really long article on my Substack and my YouTube. I found case after case after case of murders, of executions of civilians done by these CIA-backed Zero units. The key takeaway is that the Zero units that this DC shooter was a part of were assassination units. I found so many of these stories where they would just go into a house, kill every military-aged male. Sometimes they would kill women, sometimes they would kill children. It's not conspiracy. It was reported by New York Times, Rolling Stones, ProPublica. Go to my Substack. All of my sources are cited there. And this was their standard operating procedure. This was why the CIA created them, so that they could do things that the US government couldn't be officially involved with. And the CIA made promises to these guys guys. They said, we'll take care of you and your family if you do our dirty work. And now we have 10,000 former Zero Unit members in the U.S. right now. The CIA brought them over after the fall of Afghanistan in 2021 and then just kind of said, good luck. In April, another Afghan veteran who helped the U.S. and was relocated here got into a shootout with police. Listen to his words. Listen to the pain and frustration in his voice.
When I was serving you, with you liars, with you people with American status.
I served as well, sir.
Yeah. So you brought me to you fucking people brought me to this goddamn country, and I'm dying every fucking single day, and I have 4 children, and we wholly survive because you're a fucking racist people.
Okay. Subject keeps reaching for his weapon.
No, I'm not. I'm not reaching.
Now you want to give me that?
Hey, don't you reach, dude. No.
So to sum it up, the CIA trained a bunch of killers in Afghanistan. They set them loose on the country. They killed so many people, so many civilians, committed countless atrocities. And then when we abandoned the country, we brought a lot of them over to the U.S. and relocated them here. But they haven't been getting support. Their work permits expired in 2023. These Afghan veterans are having to go to nonprofits just to feed their young children. And now they're facing the fact that this administration wants to deport them all to a certain death in Afghanistan. It's a clusterfuck of our own making that no one is taking accountability for. And I'm almost certain that we're going to see more attacks like this because these CIA-trained killers have nothing to lose. They have no future to look forward to. They can't go back to Afghanistan. They can't survive in the U.S. What do we expect is going to happen?
For what? Being arrested.
Earthquake epicenter. Now, a tsunami travels across the ocean at about 500 miles per hour. The distance to Hawaii, that's about 3,000 miles, 6 hours. Distance all the way to the West Coast, 4,000 miles, that would take about 8 hours. So that's why we've already started to see some of this in the Hawaiian Islands where the tsunami advisories. You can see that the wave heights got up to 5.7, but you can see this undulation that's been happening since then. So the water levels dropped below 3.5 feet and then rose 9 feet in just minutes. So that's a heck of a wave that is happening. And then along the West Coast, we're looking at from all the way from Seattle all the way down into San Diego. We've got tsunami advisories. There have been some waves. Crescent City, about 3.5 feet. Port St. Louis, about 1.3. Santa Monica, about a half-foot wave. So we're not, again, out of the woods yet. But we are going to be watching this over the next several hours because people still, and there can be aftershocks as well.
Yeah.
So we have to really keep an eye on it.
That was a helpful explainer there, buddy. Thank you.
No problem.
This is the Yellowstone alert you hoped would never come. On October 15th, researchers confirmed 86,000 previously undetected earthquakes beneath the park. Simultaneously, new data shows the ground there is rising faster than at any time in recorded history. This is the clearest sign yet that magma pressure is building again. An eruption would blanket North America in ash and block out the sun. Follow me and turn on notifications now as I am tracking the pressure readings live. Yellowstone is sinking again, and the timing is so scary. A new report confirms the Yellowstone caldera has resumed sinking, a process called subsidence. This is the inhale of the supervolcano. This subsidence is driven by the massive, newly confirmed magma chambers shifting deep beneath the surface. The ground is literally warping as the magma moves. And this shifting is the most dangerous precursor to a hydrothermal or magmatic event. Share and follow me now for updates on Yellowstone eruptions.
Ronnie Preston. I'm a member of the San Carlos Apache Nation. I'm also one of the dancers for Woodland Sky Native American Dance Company. And I am the cultural ambassador for the American Indian Center of Chicago. And so I tell the story about this circle. This circle is like our culture. There is no beginning and there will be no end. And we utilize this circle as part of our teaching. Many people don't understand that we as a race of people were targeted for genocide. They tried to erase us as a race of people. They took our children and put them in boarding schools and cut their hair, beat them for speaking their own language. And as we found in Canada, the mass burial graves at all these boarding schools, starting out with 200, now it's well over 200,000. And the former Secretary of Department of Interior, Deb Haaland, recently released a report saying they're now finding these burial graves in the United States. But as we stand before you wearing our eagle feathers and singing our song proudly, you see they did not succeed. We're still here. And this circle tells a lot about that. From the time that sun rises, I thank the Creator. He let me live another day, because we as Indigenous people know tomorrow was never promised.